Hey, cuz.
Yes.
I know you have trouble with this, so I'm going to take over for you.
Please
All
do.
right. We would love your support. If you could go to campfirepod.com/merch and buy one of the t-shirts we sell, it'd be a great way to support the show. While you're on the Amazon site, because it'll take you to Amazon, if you buy anything else, we might make a small commission at no extra charge to you. And again, that's just a great way to support the show. That's campfirepod.com/merch. campfirepod.com/merch. MERCH.
Hi, I'm Lourdes.
And I'm Eric, but you can call me Tello. This show is a family-oriented show, but it's oriented from the adult perspective. We talk about adult situations, and very often we use adult language. So if there's any kids in the room, kick their asses out. They don't belong here right now. Unless they want to learn something about life.
Right, this may not be suitable for children. And I'd like to add, I don't want to make anybody mad, and I love my family and friends.
I do too. Cousin, what are you doing?
I was looking up something. I have to apologize to our audience because I realized that the sister show,
Yeah.
I gave some false information.
You lied to our audience?
Remember, we haven't given the do not fact check me disclosure in a long time.
Right, because I thought we agreed that we would not lie to our audience.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like a big deal, but...
Well, by the way, this is episode 42. We're recording 2 in a row today. That's why we're still dressed the same.
I put eyeliner on those, so...
I thought your eyes looked very mysterious.
And a little bit of blush.
I thought you were just embarrassed for about what you were about to say.
I think a tree, something just fell outside. Not a whole tree, but maybe like a limb or something.
Let me ask you this. If you weren't around, do you think it would have made a sound?
No.
What?
I wouldn't have been able to hear it if I wasn't
That's
around.
not what I asked. I didn't say, do you think you'd be able to hear it? Do you think it would have made a sound?
Yes.
Then why'd you say no?
I just misunderstood the question.
You never heard that old thing? If a tree falls in the woods and no one's around, does it make a sound?
Was that like something you learned in 11th or 12th grade?
No, it's something I learned in life. It's like a philosophical question.
I haven't taken philosophy yet.
Anyway, you were saying something before this.
Yes, I gave a false statement. I said that I had been married. This year would be 20 years. And that's wrong.
How long have you been married?
I've been married for 20 years. This year will be 21 years.
Oh, so you weren't off by that much.
No, but
Oh,
still.
hey, cuz, guess what? Your marriage is going to be old enough to start drinking now.
I know, we can get rid of the fake IDs.
But like, I have a drink for me, my husband will have a drink, and our marriage will have one also. So go ahead and bring 3 of them.
That's a good thing to, yeah, I like that.
Well, congratulations, happy anniversary, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's not until like months. We still have some time to go, but still.
Well, still, I mean, that's a long
felt bad.
time.
I was like, I haven't been married I've been married 20 years, but it's going to be more than that.
Was Luis upset that you forgot that you were married for nearly 21?
No, I think he's ready to divorce me.
I hope you're kidding, right?
Yeah, but with school and stuff, I don't think he supports me in anything that I do that doesn't involve catering to him. Just saying. I gotta get that off
Why
my
do you
chest.
say that?
Because first of all, when he's off of work and we have to do this podcast, I swear he makes every single noise that he can.
And why do you think that is, though?
He's jealous.
Of what?
Me, of course.
Of the success that we've had?
Yeah.
That
No, he just thinks that when he's home, like, we should be... Yeah, when he's actually, like, physically in the house and he doesn't want to go out or do anything outside, that I should just be like in his presence, even if we're not doing anything.
Well, I mean,
Just
I
like-
agree. Y'all should spend some time together. You're married. It's a great way to keep the marriage together.
Yeah, but I'm just like not feeling it lately.
Cause it sounds like maybe you want to get the divorce.
It may be.
Oh,
No,
come on, man. That's not
I'm
funny.
joking. I'm joking.
Why don't you invite him to do a podcast together?
He's so. You know what? I don't really know who that man is.
Your husband
Because,
of nearly
yeah.
21 years.
Yes. Because he, I think, is someone different than who he is when it's us and like our circle of family and friends. He's like, I feel like he's super shy. I even asked him, let me tell you a story and then we'll move on.
Tell me a story.
Last Saturday, we decided kind of a last minute thing. I haven't really spent a lot of time with Julie and Augustine or really any of the family members,
Our
even your
cousins.
brother and Stacy's. Yeah. Brothers and Stacy's.
My brother and his wife, Stacy.
Yes. So I had wanted us to all get together, but it ended up just turning out to be in Julie and her family and me and my immediate family having like a little small crawfish boil. And Luis had to take his truck to get some part fixed. And what was supposed to have been just maybe a few hour deal for him turned into an all day into the night time. I mean, he was like gone pretty much the entire time. And I felt so bad because Julie and Augustine, every time I try to do something like that, they end up taking on the work.
Right.
You know, like Augustine has to do this, that, go do that, blah, blah, blah. And it's here at my house. So I feel like really bad.
You should.
Super-
I mean, why would you host a party if you're not going to be the host of the party?
Yeah. Luis didn't get back till like 8:00. So by then, everything is pretty much done. I couldn't even look at him when he walked in. I was so pissed. And I forgot where I was really going with the story.
I don't know. You tell a story real quick and then we get back to the show.
I just don't even remember.
Cuz, are you 40 yet?
I'm pretty close. It had to do something like the whole point. There was a point to it.
You don't know him.
Oh, that was it. Okay. So, because I'm not going to go into like the argument parts of it. But so.
You argued?
Yeah. After everybody left. So, we didn't really argue. He said some things. I ignored him and I got up and went to
Did he
bed.
call you a name?
No. He said he was tired of this laptop. I was like, I looked at him.
Oh, he's jealous because you spend more time with your laptop than you do with him. He used to be your laptop.
And I wasn't even on the laptop.
It's not like it's even a MacBook. It's just a Windows
It's an
computer.
HP.
A what?
An HP.
Oh, man. If you had a MacBook, he would be so jealous.
So he was gone the whole day. And so he called me and he was like, hey, I'm still here. But I'm like, okay, well, I'm thinking we should be ready to start, cooking the crawfish around 5. Oh, okay. I should be done by then.
Or
And I'm
3
like,
hours
hey,
later.
Yeah. I was like, did you, cause this was about 2:00 when we were talking. Okay. So I'm like, did you eat? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So anyway, the next day we're talking like, so he gets home at 8, whatever.
Did you
Next
have
day
a
we're
good time,
talking.
though, having, Crawfish and all that? Was it fun?
I did. I
But he
really
didn't?
enjoyed it. He tried to, but I think he knew how upset I was. And like, seriously,
So he knew he was in
could
trouble.
not. Yeah, I think so.
Ooh.
So the next day we're talking and I'm like trying to give him like an explanation of why I was so upset. It wasn't that he couldn't have time to go take care of his man truck stuff, but I kind of gave him some different scenarios of why I felt like there was some inequality there. Okay. And I said, how is it that, I said, you went to go eat, you made sure you had whatever. He's like, I didn't eat. And I'm like, you told me you ate. Do you know what his response was?
Does it have anything to do with you not cooking for him?
No.
Oh, thank goodness.
I don't even know how to take this. His response to me was, I didn't eat. I just told you that so you wouldn't get mad at me.
Cause you have 3 kids?
4 with him.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think you have a 4th kid.
Why?
Well, maybe, you know what? In
I
his
wanted
defense,
to get the belt and bust his
that's
ass.
why he lied to you.
Because I think he's lying to me.
Well, he did about
obviously
eating.
he
Yeah, I
lied.
mean, he
Yeah,
admitted to
but
it. Lying to you
I
about,
was like,
what do you think he's, like, lying to you about what?
like, I feel like I've turned into a more, well, obviously not like, it's going to sound wrong. I'm sure you can fix it for me.
I'll try. I'm scared. I don't want to get into the middle of this, but go ahead.
I feel like I've turned into a mother to him, but with benefits.
Are you calling Luis a motherfucker? By the way, the way you just described that is so gross.
That's where I was going. I didn't know how to say that. Like a motherly figure.
You're a mother in the streets and a freaking street.
I don't want to be that.
No,
I
and
don't
you shouldn't,
want
and he
be
shouldn't want that. That's, you know what? You just took, your husband has an Oedipus complex.
You could you please spell that for me?
OEDIP. I think it's US or ES, or maybe it's called an Oedipal complex.
Let me see. That was too big of a word.
Oedipus complex. I'm looking it up right now. So it's based on a Greek myth about this guy Oedipus Rex, who there was a prophecy that he was going to kill his father and become king. So the king had like a bunch of kids killed, I think, if I remember correctly.
This is so weird.
Turns out he survived. He was far enough away. The king's reach didn't get to him. He grows up to be a man, walking down the road one day, going to town, and I think he confronts another man. Turns out to be the king. I'm butchering this story, but they end up fighting somehow. He kills the king, marries the queen, and becomes the king. All right? Took his rightful place on the throne. Turns out, though, the king was his father. Now he's married to his mother. He finds out, goes and gouges his eyes out. Okay, here it is. In Freudian theory, the complex of emotions aroused in a young child, typically around the age of 4, by an unconscious sexual desire for the parent of the opposite sex and a wish to exclude the parent of the same sex. The term was originally applied to boys, the equivalent in girls being called the Electra complex.
I'm so confused.
You know what? I'm not qualified to give this advice.
I mean, I read it. I found it too, but
Oedipus, the king of Thebes, has sent his brother-in-law Creon. Nope.
Yeah, we can just move on.
Yeah, let's move on. You can look it up later.
I just was.
I'm sorry, audience, whoever's listening. I'm not as smart as I thought I was.
You just used the Oedipus word.
Yeah, Oedipus.
How do you say it again?
Oedipus.
Oedipus.
It's octopus.
Anyway, I'm not even going to try anymore.
It's Oedipus.
Oedipus. Oedipus.
Yes.
Oedipus. I'm going to call him that when he gets home. You Oedipus.
And if he starts crying, you can say, you Oedipusy. But that's what your mom was talking about. I'm kidding. It's okay for a man to cry. We talked about this last episode.
Yeah. Anyway.
If a man cries, it does not make him an Oedipusy.
I was just dumbfounded. Like, I'm sitting there looking at him like, why would you lie about getting something to eat so I won't be mad at you? What else do you lie about? Let me see your phone.
Because you have to respect your kids' privacy.
I swear, like, I don't like that feeling at all because I feel like it's not, like, I do feel like that could open up, not that I just feel like that opens up a window of bad situations.
I agree. I'm not comfortable talking about this because I don't want to get into y'all's marriage. But I see what you're saying, and I totally understand.
I mean, I feel like, yeah, I feel like sometimes he's my child in situations like that. And I know he was upset because he knew I was upset, but that's not my point. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And just playing devil's advocate, let me ask you this. Do you think he might act that way because you treat him like a child sometimes?
I don't see how.
Like what's coming first? Is he acting like a child so you treat him like a child? Or are you treating him like a child so he's just going to act like a child?
I don't think I treat him like a child.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things you do wrong that you don't see.
You know what? F off. No, I'm
We view
joking.
ourselves through rose-colored lenses. We don't always
No,
see the
I know.
bad
I
things
have
that
a
we
lot
do.
of faults. I
Oh
know.
man, let me make a list.
Oh wait, let me get something out of my bag. It ties into what we're talking about.
Okay.
Man, what?
That's a big bag.
It was like my school bag / purse.
It looks
But
like one of
nah.
those portfolios for artists.
Oh, I have another funny story. I'm thinking of something. Yeah, so this is totally off subject. It's going to be quick. We had a little lunch appreciation thing. We all went out, a group of us from work. And this guy was sitting like 2 people over, and I'm sitting on the same side as he is. And then there's another woman sitting in front of him. And all I see her do is pull out this little container. Like, I mean, I don't know if you can see this.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's about, say, ½ inch.
Yeah. And she sets it on the table and she's like, yeah, that's what I use. And he says something like, you put your tooth in that? And that's what she said. That's when she said, yes, that's what I use. And she set it down. I wasn't really in their conversation, but I heard that. And I looked over and this guy has like this little tick thing where when he gets nervous or I don't know, irritate, I don't know what it is, but he kind of like does like this to his chin.
Scratching at his chin.
Yeah, kind of like a pinching kind of thing. Like he's pulling
Okay.
like if he was pulling hair out. And he has this look of confusion on his face. And so what I hear her say, even though I don't know if it's exactly what she said, is that she puts her teeth inside this little container and was telling him, here, you can put it in this. And so I said, wait a minute. I said, you put your teeth in that? And he's like thinking that that's what she said too. And so we all kind of start laughing and she's like, no, that little container was cement that she uses to put on one of her teeth in the back to help prevent, I don't know what it's like, I don't know what it is, but it was a little container of cement for her teeth. And she was offering it to him because he apparently had made a comment that he had a toothache. And he looks at her with this like look of like, oh my gosh, are you stupid? He said, I said I have a toothache. I don't need a filling or I'm not going to put your cement in my teeth. You don't think that's funny?
Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know what to say to that, cuz.
Is that not so weird? Who carries around a thing of cement and offers it to other people? That was my whole point.
But who tells that story?
Because I don't know. I was just thrown by the fact that she had this in her purse and she uses it in her mouth. I mean, it's so small. I feel like it's just like a fingertip could fit in it.
Yeah.
To put, okay. So that means your finger has already been in it, however many times, and you're offering your tooth cement to someone else.
Yeah, even after that summarization, it's still weird. I still don't know what to say to that. So if she doesn't have that, you think she just grabs a piece of the sidewalk and puts it in her mouth?
I'm not.
I've always done my best
weird.
to keep cement away from my teeth because I feel like it would break them.
I was honestly, before I knew that it was cement or whatever that stuff is, that it was a container that the dentist gives you when you're a kid and they had to pull a tooth and they say, here, your tooth is in here, put it under your pillow so the tooth fairy can come and visit you. And I was really thinking like she had some teeth or a tooth that she pops out and puts in there while she eats and then pops it back in.
That's what I hope. That's where I was hoping the story would go.
That's what I thought it was. I was like, wait, you put your teeth in that?
Next time you tell the story, just say, yeah, she popped out a tooth right in front of you and put it in there. It makes for a way better story.
Anyway.
Hey, let me ask you, Priscilla, what's funnier? A woman using cement to push up against her tooth for toothache? No? How about this? A woman having a small container and pops her tooth out and puts it in there before she eats.
Neither one of those.
Yeah, I guess not. Let me try this joke again. So she pops out her tooth and puts it in a small container before she eats. What do you think of that? That would have been so much funnier if it had worked the first time.
Oh my gosh.
Isabel, did you have a chance to hear that? What do you think about your mom derailing the show just to tell that horrible story?
Oh, my poor kids are in there with the baby that I'm supposed to be babysitting.
Yeah, I hear that baby in the background. Why don't you give a disclaimer? Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I volunteered.
Stop. Hang on. Stop. Before you turn that knob, let me just tell you, your volume is going to go down too. So that means I'm going to have to do some adjusting and post-production. So just leave it. Just tell everybody that you're supposed to. Did you adjust the knob?
I don't remember.
Oh.
I did. If I did, I didn't do it very.
Yeah, you sound really loud now.
I do.
I don't know.
Maybe
just stop. Just don't touch it. Pick a volume. Stick with it no matter what. I apologize, audience. Technical difficulties. Number 2 cuz has some new equipment that she's using, and she's getting a little happy with it.
I can't help it. There's just so many knobs. So yeah, my niece wanted me to babysit her little baby because there was no one else to babysit him. And so I was like, sure, number 1 and number 2 podcast is going to be happening. And yeah, so I found a babysitter for me. And they're in the other room. So
because I want you to practice something that will make your life so much better.
Oh gosh.
Repeat after me.
Okay.
Are you ready?
After me. Are you ready?
No.
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 No. I can't say no.
All right, how about this? I would rather not, because I have some things I'll be doing that would prevent me from giving proper care for this child.
No.
There you go. See, you just said no. Congratulations. You can say it. I feel like we made a real breakthrough this morning.
Okay, I'll try it.
All right. Anyway, we had some stuff we wanted to talk about, but you just went off the rails with a terrible tooth story. What the hell was that? My goodness.
I don't know. I'm sorry. What were we going to be talking about?
I wanted to talk about a couple things, actually.
Well, go ahead, cuz you take over.
I'll take over. All right. As we've mentioned, I recently turned 40. I'm getting old. I'm an old man.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
swear, look, I mean, I've worn glasses since first grade, so my eyes have never been great. But it seems like the first week I was 40, I had to read something that was small print. Maybe not the first week, but like soon after turning 40, I had to read something small print. It was a little dark in the room. And I'm struggling to read it. I'm looking at it. I'm squinting my eyes, and then I realize I'm doing that old man thing. Like I'm pulling
You
it
like pull
away.
it up,
I'm trying. I
close,
can't.
pull
It's
it
up close to
up.
my face, and I can't focus on it. So I pull it away, and I squint my eyes. And as I pull it away, it comes into focus. But now it's farther away from my face, and the print is so small I can't see it.
You need like cheaters on top of your regular
I
glasses.
think I might.
It's gonna be
Cause
so weird.
I don't want to get bifocals, and I don't want to get reading glasses.
You don't want to get bifocals.
I'm just 40.
That changes your prescription by so much. Like the cost is ridiculous.
I felt so old.
Don't feel old because of your bad eyesight.
But it was a struggle. Like I could feel the muscles in my eyes working really hard, and it didn't matter how hard they worked, they just couldn't do it.
Cause I'm sorry. That
I've met some
sucks.
physical limitations in my life, but this is the first time that I've been like, I could imagine, like I left my body and I could see myself squinting and moving the thing back and forth, struggling to read, and I felt so old.
You know what?
What?
Maybe you should have LASIK eye surgery. And
I've
that might fix
considered that.
everything.
No, it won't fix everything.
It could.
Actually, I have years ago. I had talked to a doctor about that. Let me tell you how bad my eyes are. He said, "Yeah, get LASIK surgery. It'll help, but you'll still need glasses."
That's exactly what they told my son, who is 13.
I have the eyes of a
Just so much.
13-year-old.
I'm sorry. This little girl. Well, she wasn't a little girl. She was the optometrist. And she looked like she was 14. She was like the same height. She had like lots of hair. And I was like, so, hey, do you think he's a candidate for LASIK eye surgery? And she's like, it's not going to help him. And I'm like thinking, dang, my poor child is going to be like Eric now.
Hey, man, if he's so lucky, when he's 40, he'll have 3 roommates.
Stop. Oh.
Yeah, and my body's just falling apart all over. My joints are sore. Actually, you know what? I'm half joking. Yeah, I'm a little bit sore, but since I've been losing weight since the beginning of the year, my knee joints and a lot of my joints in general are feeling better.
That's good.
And I haven't even smoked any joints.
Good.
Is that really good? I'm kidding. I mean, no, I'm not kidding. I haven't smoked anything, but that's just a little joke. Even though my birthday was 420.
I know. We talked about that on the show because we think your mom like had that fixed. Like she planned it to be that.
Yeah, she planned it very well.
I'm like, dang, Aunt Becky, how do you do it?
She pushed really hard.
I mean, she freehands. I don't even know how. I mean, she just looks at it and rolls up by herself.
Well, she taught Willie Nelson how to.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I hear some ruckus. Because we're all getting old.
Yeah, we are.
Like, I don't know. I'm having back pain. I
Oh,
can't
that's another
figure it
thing.
out.
Got back pains.
I think it's because of the way I sit.
I can't even sleep on my back. I'm obsessed with these chiropractor videos, and I want to go to one. And I have insurance, but for some reason, I just haven't made the call to make an appointment. I need to do that. I need to be
You
a grown
should.
up. I need to take on these adult responsibilities and just quit making excuses.
Yeah. You know what I did?
Did you get some cement and press it up against your tooth?
No.
Maybe you should get some cement and press it up against your back.
I think so. I just try to.
You should go outside and sleep on the sidewalk.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Hey. I didn't know you were home. Luis is here. Do you want to come tell Eric hi? No, he doesn't want to.
Pull out that second microphone. Get him on the show.
I had to put my light on. He looked at me like I was stupid. Go to your room.
He said, "This is my room." For the people who couldn't see, I made a little recording light for my cousin. It's a red light screwed into a little wall socket that you plug in just to show that she's recording so people don't interrupt. She never uses it.
Because they're going to ignore it.
Well, you don't know that. But so her husband just walked in the room and she held it up like a stop sign almost just to indicate I'm recording, because having the headphones on and talking in the microphone wasn't enough.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, cuz.
My day was just ruined. I'm joking, it wasn't.
That's okay.
What was I going to say?
Getting old, you're back. Sleeping on the sidewalk.
Oh, no, you know what I did? No, I'm not going to sleep on the sidewalk. So, like, I have noticed a couple of people through social media have had some plastic or cosmetic surgery.
Because you're not going to go on about wanting to get cosmetic surgery again, are you?
No, I'm not going to do it.
Please
don't. I was
don't.
just interested, like, in knowing, so I Googled mommy makeover. And a link popped up.
Hang on, wait. What is mommy makeover?
Mommy makeover is like basically a boob lift, a tummy tuck, new navel button, umbilical, butt lift. I mean, like all like just like making you new over. Like wait, anyway, $25,000. I was like, what?
You don't buy a MacBook before you do that. I'm gonna be so mad.
So I was like, I wonder what it would cost just for like 2 things to be done. And I really didn't get into any more of the price searching. I started looking at just images of what a body looks like and where the markings of all the places that they have to cut and do stuff to. And I was like, man, that seems like it's going to hurt. I mean, power to the people that can do that stuff and have the money to do it.
That's ridiculous.
So what I did find out was there's a difference in like a plastic surgeon and a cosmetic surgeon. And they were basically recommending you going with, and I don't know which one. This is going to be where don't fact check me comes in.
Because it sounds like terrible advice. How about this? Just don't get it done.
Yeah, because like if you use a cosmetic surgeon, they don't have to go through so many courses or something like that. And a plastic surgeon has to go through like so many more. So you want to go with the plastic surgeon versus the cosmetic one.
You think. Or it might be the other way around.
Yeah, you probably want to search it yourself.
Yeah, do some research before you have any cosmetic or plastic surgery. In fact, just don't do it.
Yeah. I was thinking about it. And then I was scrolling through Facebook the other day and they have this.
You were growing through Facebook?
Scrolling.
Oh, scrolling.
And so they have this, you know my sites that I like to shop, buy used items or.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's like for sale, Southeast, whatever. Okay. So there's an advertisement for a Brazilian butt lift. And I was like, how is this in our local thing? So I clicked on it just out of curiosity.
Right.
And it's like in Nicaragua.
Nicaragua?
I can't say it.
Nicaragua.
Yes. A Brazilian butt lift is in Nicaragua. I can't say
Nicaragua.
it.
Nicaragua.
I can't say it. Nicaragua.
Nicaragua.
Nicaragua. Let's just stop.
Nicaragua.
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 Nicaragua. Does it sound right?
Nicaragua.
Anyway. Oh man, I got a notification from Chase, but go ahead.
Chase, the guy you work with?
Yes. Anyway,
He works in accounting, right?
Anyway, so yeah. So go ahead about our. I mean, you can carry.
I don't know,
on,
because
sorry.
you just derailed the plan that we had.
so
I was
sorry.
going to talk about being old. And speaking of being old, I watched the first 2 episodes of the new Cobra Kai series, the continuation of the Karate Kid.
Is Mr. Miyagi in it?
I think Mr. Miyagi's dead.
Like in real life?
Yeah.
Oh man, I didn't
Don't
know
fact
that.
check me.
Oh my God.
But I'm pretty sure he's dead. May he rest in peace. Or if he's alive, maybe he live long and prosper. Covering my bases here. No, I'm pretty sure he's dead. May he rest in peace. He's a good actor.
Oh gosh.
But no, whether he's dead or alive, he's not in the show. At least he's treated as he's dead, as if he were dead in the show. So I'm assuming he's dead in real life.
Okay. Yeah, that always makes sense.
May he rest in peace.
Oh gosh.
But it's a YouTube Red series, which YouTube Red is their paid service. It's like a Netflix, but it's mostly stuff you've never heard of. But Cobra Kai, I was such a huge fan of the Karate Kid growing up, and the Karate Kid Part 2. Not so much Part 3. Never saw Part 4. But this is a continuation. This is picking up in modern times. Daniel LaRusso, the Karate Kid, and his high school nemesis, Johnny. I forgot his last name, but he was the high school bully. And it's the first 2 episodes pretty good. It picks up. Johnny is a loser now. His life is a shambles. He's working odd jobs, can't hold on to it, and he's haunted by that. Because you look distracted.
Sorry, cuz someone just walked in, but go ahead.
Someone who?
You don't want to see him because you said he can't be on the show.
No, he can be on the show. There's a second microphone. Bring him on.
I don't think he needs his own microphone.
Well,
though.
he's not in there by himself, right? There's somebody with him, right? Hey, bring out that second microphone. I want to talk to Isabel.
Okay.
Let's test this out.
Could you...
Turn it up some.
No.
Turn the volume up.
Okay,
Oh,
it should
no.
We have a heavy
Who do we
breather.
have on the show? Who?
We have a heavy breather. Can you hear it?
No, but I see the faces. Okay, we have who is this? Your great nephew?
This is my great nephew. Gosh, speaking of old.
Yeah, cuz. How do your eyes?
he's
Your great
getting-
nephew.
He's getting old.
Is he okay?
He's like heavy breathing. I think he thinks the blue microphone is like food or something.
There's not even any blue food. You got blueberries, blue corn, and I think that's it.
Well, blue to kids means like put it in your mouth. You know, like let me just stop.
Okay, so this is your great nephew.
Great nephew Giovanni. Say hello, Gio.
He looks like a little chimpanzee. Oh no. Oh no. There will be none of that, sir. None of that, young man.
Can you hear him breathing? I can hear him in my...
I can't. Maybe
He sounds like a little puppy.
Oh, he's trying to eat
No,
the
he's not
microphone
touching it.
cover.
He's not touching it.
He's trying to eat it. Don't let him put it in his mouth. There's chemicals in that.
Oh no! I just got spit on me.
Oh, I thought he pooped on you. Where's Isabel? Tell Isabel to come say hi.
Isabel, say hi. Oh, it's...
That's what you get for volunteering to babysit a baby.
We're almost done. He needs his diaper changed.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, he smells me.
Tell her to get on mic and say hello.
Isabel, you have to get on the mic and say hello.
I just changed him. But, I have to give him another bottle.
Hello.
Oh.
So,
Ooh.
hey, calm down. You don't need to yell at us, okay?
That's it? She's not going to be on the show?
No, she's going to get out.
All right. Just because there's another microphone there doesn't mean use it. Use your microphone.
You told me to get the second
All right.
microphone.
Okay. Hang on. Turn the second volume down before you move.
Okay, I did. It's
I
okay.
want to apologize to the audience. This is a disaster of a show. I don't know what's going on. We had a plan coming in, and
The
as
cement
usual-
tooth threw us off track. I'm sorry.
yeah, that just totally just
messed everything up.
Yeah, totally. It just derailed the entire thing.
Okay, stop. Let's start over. Okay,
Hey,
so
cuz
you
you ever
watched
go to campfirepod.com? not that far. Okay.
campfirepod.com/merch.
Okay. So I'm watching Cobra Kai. First 2 episodes. Johnny is a loser now. His life is a shambles. And Daniel LaRusso is now, he owns a car dealership, several of them. He's very successful, very wealthy. He has a family now. Not the girl from the show.
Original,
he made.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, they kind of play on, there's been this theory now for a while that Daniel LaRusso was the bad guy in Karate Kid. It's become very popular because, he moves to this new school and he moves in on this girl who is Johnny's ex. They're like on the rocks a little bit. It's Johnny's girlfriend, but they're not together exactly. So Daniel LaRusso moves in on her, and Johnny gets a little jealous and he's trying to keep his girl, but he doesn't handle it the best way and he beats him up. That's the movie. So there's been this theory that Daniel LaRusso was actually the bad guy. Depends on how you look at it. Growing up as a kid, Daniel LaRusso was a good guy, but I can see it. I can see it from both sides now.
Yeah, he took his girlfriend.
Yeah, but Johnny was still, he didn't handle it well. He was a bully about it. It was wrong. But
Let somebody take my boyfriend.
yeah, so that kind of plays into the show a little bit, at least these first 2 episodes. There's 10 episodes total. I haven't watched the whole thing because I don't have YouTube Red. I'm thinking about getting it the free month just to finish this because I really enjoyed it. For real. So Daniel LaRusso is the successful car dealer, and Johnny, he loses his job. He gets hit by, he's out drinking and driving, and this car plows into him. It wasn't his fault. He was part of this car plows into him. It's a car full of teenage girls. They take off because they think he's some crazy drug addict. And he takes his car to get fixed, and the tow truck takes it to the LaRusso dealership.
Oh my gosh.
Because they have the best prices in town. They kick the competition or something like that. Something cheesy like that. It's great though. It's great. So, and I'm spoiler alert. I'm telling you what happens. Go watch the first 2 episodes and then come back to the show and walk through it with me.
The only one person that I personally know that would be so upset with you would be your fave cuz for ruining it.
Oh, well, Fave Cuz needs to go watch it and then come back and listen to this. Anyway, I skipped a part. He loses his job. He's buying pizza for dinner from this convenience store. It's a gross scene because the guy gets the pizza. He's using his bare hands to handle the pizza.
Gross.
Anyway, he's eating outside, and this kid is a new neighbor. It's very similar. Like the setup is real similar
identical to the.
Yeah, but it's roles reversed a little bit. So this new kid, he's a Hispanic kid. So I was excited to see. He had a Hispanic name. He looks Mexican. So I was excited. More Latino representation. You know what I'm saying? Representation matters.
Yeah.
Hashtag all that stuff. So, but he's a little wimp loser type of kid, and he gets beat up by some other kids, and Johnny's letting it go. He doesn't care. It's not his business until they throw the kid into his car, and he's like, "Hey, watch the car." So now he's involved, and they try to start some trouble with him. Well, he's a former Cobra Kai student. He's won some karate championships in his younger days, and he still has it a little bit. So he starts to fight back. He beats him up.
Oh my god!
But it's pretty funny because he's an older man now. So after he throws a kick, he's like, "Oh,"
I know. Me sitting here, I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah. So it hurt him to do that. And I'm thinking, wow, that's how I feel on a regular. Just
I know that's
can
how I
totally
feel
relate,
when I
yeah.
karate chop somebody too.
yeah, exactly. Because I want to get back into jujitsu, but the condition I'm in now, I'm like, oh, I would be
You'll
so
just be
torn
like
up.
a referee on the side.
I would need somebody to pick up my legs and reattach them to me. I'd be like one of those, when boys are kids and they play with their toys and they're real rough and they take off their arms and legs and stuff.
Yes.
That would be me after jiu-jitsu practice if I got back into it right now.
You're gonna be like, can somebody please put me back together?
Yeah, please. Anyway, so this kid asked him to teach him how to fight, and he doesn't want to do it. Obviously, he doesn't care. He's just like he just wants to be to his own stay in his own world, but he decides, life's not going his way. He decides to open up the Cobra Kai dojo again. So he's going to be a sensei. He's going to teach karate. Yeah.
And he's going to be the Mr. Miyagi.
Kind of, yeah, exactly.
But I bet it has a twist. I bet he turns back into a bully.
Well, I don't know. I haven't gotten that far because I haven't signed up for the free month yet. But
you may want to wait a little while. That way, that free month can tie into the end of the season, so you won't miss that.
alternate episodes are already available. It's like
man.
a Netflix sort of thing. Yeah,
You could watch that in one day.
exactly.
Do nothing else.
I meant to watch just the first episode last night, and I ended up watching both of them.
See, I can't do that. I have an addiction problem.
Why?
Because, like, if I start watching something that I'm really into, I won't turn it off. I want to finish.
That's
the
what I'm
whole
saying.
thing.
I had the intention of watching just one episode, but I liked it so much I watched the second one because the second one was free too. So I binge watched 2 episodes that were available to me.
I would have signed up last night and not slept.
I thought about it, but I was really tired because I mentioned I'm old.
I know, because we are.
Okay. So he opens up the new dojo. Well, he starts to open up the new dojo, but again, it's not the 80s anymore. So a health inspector stops by, gives him a list of stuff he has to make sure gets taken care of before he opens it. So this kid is his first student, but he has him doing all the cleaning and stuff. And, it seems like it's going to be one of those things, how Mr. Miyagi had Daniel, paint the house,
discipline
wax on,
type.
wax off. It seems like it's going to be like that, but he's just using it as free manual labor. In fact, the health inspector says, hey, this place isn't open yet. He's not a student, is he? And Johnny's like, no, this isn't illegal. I picked up to help me with the repairs.
Oh my God.
And the health inspector's
so
like,
wrong.
the health inspector's like, oh, I don't need to know anything about that.
Oh my God. That is horrible.
Yeah, so it turns out Daniel LaRusso's daughter was one of the girls who was in the vehicle that hit Johnny's car.
Oh,
She's hanging out with this new group of friends who are the popular girls, and they're not great people. They're real shallow and they're mean girls. And she, from what I can tell so far, she's not sure how she fits in this world yet, if she wants to be a part of it. But her former best friend is an overweight girl, really smart. And there's a lunchroom scene where the girls start to make fun, say something about her. They're making fun of her, and they're making, and the boy, the Hispanic kid, the new Cobra Kai student, Johnny's first student, is at that school too. And he sits at a table full of the high school losers, the nerds, and he's taking the advice that his sensei gave him, because the sensei, the motto of the school was strike first. What was it? Strike first something.
Just because you're old and you can't remember.
Yeah, you're right.
Like me telling my whole story and I forgot.
Yeah, and the final one is no mercy. If you remember from the movie, no mercy.
Yeah.
All right. So when Johnny's teaching them, part of the thing he's teaching them is like, you got to have some balls. You can't be a pussy. And the kid is like, aren't you kind of gendering, a little too much? And it's like it's a clash of worlds. It's the 80s world of like
modern time. And
yeah, exactly. So he's
I'm
like,
gonna
when
watch
you're,
it. I'm not.
Yeah, I recommend it. I highly recommend it. It's fun.
What is it called?
Cobra Kai.
Oh, I think I wrote it down.
So you're not spell Cobra. Kai is Kai.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's explaining to him, like when you're at a party and you see a hot babe, you go up and talk to her first. You don't wait for some other guy to go talk to her. He's like, I've actually never been to a party.
Oh my gosh. Well, don't tell me no more.
Yeah,
you're
right.
going to ruin it all.
You're right. So go watch that. And during the time during this last month when I had no internet, I also made time to, there's a lot of movies I wanted to see, but I haven't had time. But I made time to go see Ready Player One, which is directed by one of my favorite filmmakers, Steven Spielberg.
I was going to say Quentin Tarantino.
Quentin who?
Tarantino.
Correct. Now, because when I say the name Steven Spielberg, what do you think of?
It. Oh, no. Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park.
That's correct.
That's what I meant.
It was Stephen King.
I was partially right. I knew it
Well,
was
Stephen King has a tie to this movie, Ready Player One. But I know you're not a big pop culture person, right? But I thought for sure Steven Spielberg would just bring a flood of childhood memories to you.
Like E.T.
Exactly.
and Goonies.
Well, he produced that, yeah.
Lean on Me.
You mean Stand By Me? Because neither one of those movies had anything to do with Steven Spielberg.
Okay, let me just stop.
Stand By Me was written by Stephen King. Lean on Me had nothing to do with Stephen King or Steven Spielberg.
Was that Stevie Wonder? I'm just gonna stop.
No, I don't know who.
Just
I don't know who it
get
was.
to your point. Stop making me answer questions.
Well, I'm not prepared to do it right now, but I wanted to ask you if it would be okay if we did a tribute to Steven Spielberg while he's still alive.
Yes.
The reason I'm asking, he's in his 70s. I've only talked about filmmakers mostly after they passed. George Romero, we lost last year. Toby Hooper, who had also worked with Steven Spielberg on Poltergeist, we lost last year. I wanted to recognize Steven Spielberg while he's still alive because he is so much of my childhood, and I think of yours that you just don't remember.
You're right. We should make a game to him, a tribute game.
Okay, so I'll start working on that. But
And I'm going to study for it.
maybe. You probably won't.
You never
But
know.
I wanted to talk about Ready Player One. By now, it's been in theaters for a little more than a month. People should have seen it, so there might be some spoilers. I want to start off by saying I enjoyed the movie, but it felt a little hollow. It wasn't quite what I was hoping for.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and for anyone who's not familiar with the movie, it takes place in the future, I think 2045. And there's this game called the Oasis. It's a virtual reality sort of thing. So a lot of the movie takes place in the Oasis, computer-generated avatars, these characters that people are playing. And there's a lot of 80s, there's a lot of pop culture references within the movie, but it's a little more rooted in the 80s because who is that?
Go, you carry on.
Okay. So it's rooted in the 80s, and there's one scene in there that I thought was really well done, and it involves Stephen King and the movie The Shining, which I've talked to friends who have read this book, Ready Player One, and this didn't happen in the book. So when I see it in the movie, first of all, it looks like the same setting as The Shining. They did a really good job reproducing that. But I felt a little sad because The Shining was directed by Stanley Kubrick, who is no longer with us. He died several years ago. He was a brilliant filmmaker and one of Steven Spielberg's good friends. And when I see this in the movie, I felt a little sad. I'm like, oh man, I feel like this is Steven Spielberg honoring and remembering his friend
Aww.
by having this section of the movie dedicated to him, more or less.
Is that what you want to do with Steven Spielberg?
Well, yeah, I want to honor him while he's alive. But I mean, just because it's fun. He's made so many fun movies, and I was hoping this movie would be one of those fun movies, one of those classics that would kind of harken back to childhood. But it didn't quite do that for me. It might for modern kids, and I'll admit, I think part of the problem was I'm not a big gamer, so a lot of the pop culture references were from video games, and I don't know a lot of them, but I mean, there were a bunch that I did recognize. And there's this sequence early on where they're racing that is really cool. It's so awesome. Like it's fun and it's very video game, but it's really cool. They show part of it in the trailer, and like the stuff is being smashed up. There's a part where they have to get past King Kong, it's awesome. Oh, and he's driving the DeLorean from Back to the
Back
Future,
to the Future.
which I thought was a funny reference that y'all made when your sisters were on the podcast with you.
Yeah, because Loopy knows that stuff. I don't. I would have never been able to say it. I would only
Oh,
be
maybe
able
she should
to
be a special guest in our Steven Spielberg tribute show.
Oh,
whenever that is.
maybe we'll have to work on that.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just there's a lot of cool stuff going on. It's a lot of eye candy, but again, the story felt a little thin, wasn't really fleshed out. The characters I didn't care too much about, but I'll it's something that I can see me watching again. So I recommend it. Go have a good time. There's a lot of fun. You'll be able to spot some stuff from childhood. But yeah, but there hasn't been a Steven Spielberg movie in a long time that has been like that. Maybe Jurassic Park might have been the last, kind of filled with that childlike wonder that Steven Spielberg is really good at bringing to the screen.
Yeah. And maybe because his style is from our era, you know what I'm saying? Our life, our childhood.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he's made a lot of more mature films lately. Like he just made The Post, which was about a newspaper that was in trouble. You know, it was a real mature theme movie. Bridge of Spies was about like a Cold War thing. I think it was Cold War, which I haven't seen those. I want to, but those are real heavy like dramas.
They will make you cry.
I don't know if they would make me cry, but I like, Steven Spielberg did the Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah.
That was like fun and adventurous. He produced the Back to the Future trilogy, which again, fun and adventurous. E.T. had that sense of wonder, that childlike, there's a man from space and he's our friend, and what can he do? What can he do? How is he like us? How is he different? And I haven't seen a movie like that in a long time. Like those
Maybe
kinds of
you
movies.
should reach out to Steven Spielberg and tell him.
Hey, Steven Spielberg, you're not making movies like you used to when I was a kid. Nah.
No, not like that.
No, and it's fine. Like Steven Spielberg's body of work, like very few people can rest on their laurels. I feel like he's one of them. He can do that. He's made so many good. He made Jaws. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
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 You said Lean on Me, and I thought you meant Stand By Me, which neither one had anything to do with him.
Anyway.
Yeah. So I would like to take a trip down memory lane and talk about his movies and how much they meant to me and how fun they were and what they might have meant to you. I don't know if they meant anything to you. You might have just been like, "Oh yeah, it's a good movie." What next?
They did. They meant something to me. But I guess because I'm not like into film, you know what I'm saying? That's your passion. And so
Why'd you say it like it was something bad? I'm not into film.
I don't know. I like you're able to detect a quality of a movie the way it's made. And sometimes I don't really pay attention to that. I might pay attention more to the acting part of it. Like I'm thinking, oh, he's a bad actor. But the moral of the story,
Who's a bad actor to you?
Well, I don't want to get anybody upset with me. And I don't think I wouldn't say bad actor, but I think his looks and his physical like body,
You better not be talking about Brad Pitt.
No.
Oh, okay.
He's a good actor.
Damn right he is.
I can't think of the movie that he's in that I really like. No, but I was gonna say.
Well,
Channing.
Do you have Channing Tatum?
Yeah, I don't know that his acting is I feel like it's not real. Like it doesn't come on natural to him.
I haven't seen him act in anything where he actually had to like really act. I've only seen him in 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street.
Yeah.
And I mean, while he's acting in that's not like that's just a funny role, which I enjoyed the movie. I enjoyed him in that. I didn't really care for him before just because I thought he was another good looking guy who the girl swooned over and I got jealous. But when I saw him in that, and I was like, this guy has a sense of humor about himself. He can make fun
Yeah.
of himself. I was like, all right, I'm in. I dig this guy.
And I do. I like him in comedies. But when I've seen him act in other movies, I mean, like I said, other than his great looks and stuff like that, I don't know. I just don't think he's a good actor. I've seen other good-looking, good actors, but
Leonardo DiCaprio.
he's really not one of my good-looking. I mean,
How dare you?
he's attractive, but
No, I was bringing him up because I used to not like him as an actor. And again, the girl swooned over him. I enjoy Titanic, but I don't think that he did a great job acting in Titanic. And when he started working with Martin Scorsese in Gangs of New York, I was really upset because, like, what? Martin Scorsese is like the greatest director alive. Why is he casting a pretty boy in this movie? And Leonardo DiCaprio did a good job in that. But since then he's made several films with Martin Scorsese, and I think he's grown tremendously as an actor. And this is just me, nobody, just an audience member watching this. And I've grown to become a big fan of Leonardo DiCaprio. When he and Martin Scorsese do a movie together, I'm like, I'm there.
I'm there. See, I'm not to that point. Like, I don't put a producer or a director or...
He did The Aviator with them, which was great. Shutter Island.
Oh, that
was
was
a good movie.
crazy.
Yeah, crazy. I've only seen it once, but again, I thought he did a great job. And I feel like there's one more I'm missing. But then recently, the last one he did together with Martin Scorsese, he was The Wolf of Wall Street. You ever see that one?
No.
Oh, cuz I was so excited because one, it's like the sort of thing that I like to see, and like it's about a guy who goes from nothing to having a lot. I mean, he wasn't a great guy. He did it illegally. He was a criminal. But I love those kinds of stories like Scarface and Goodfellas, that sort of thing. Even if it's about bad people, I don't want to emulate them. I just think it's entertaining. It came out around Christmas time a few years ago, and I went to see it with Mom and my niece and my nephew and their mom. So I'm sitting in the theater right between my mom and my niece. My niece wants to see it because she loves Leonardo DiCaprio. I want to see it because I like Leonardo DiCaprio and Martin Scorsese. One of the first things you see, not the very first image, but up close to the beginning, is Leonardo DiCaprio snorting cocaine off of a prostitute's ass.
Oh, my gosh.
And that was just the beginning.
Oh, no.
It was such an awkward movie-going experience for me.
With
being
your
between
mom
my mother
and your niece.
and my niece. And I wanted to leave.
But it was a good movie.
Good movie. I couldn't enjoy myself though because a lot of bad language, a lot of nudity, which I have no problem with that normally, but being sandwiched between my mother and my niece in a movie theater while this is going on, it was really uncomfortable. And I wanted to tell my niece, oh, Mija, turn your head. But
Close
she's
your eyes.
she's already an adult and her mom is right there. So her mom has more responsibility to do that. But it was weird.
Yeah. My professor asked us not too long ago, because we were talking about films, but she did like a little poll and said...
And you raised your hand and said, I'm not really into film.
She said, would you be okay with your children watching a violent show or a porn show? And everybody raised their hands, except for like two people, that they would prefer watching the violent film versus the nudity. And she said, just stop and think. Nudity is something natural. Sex is something natural. Of course, if you put toys and stuff in it, it may not be natural.
Oh my goodness. Where is this going?
No, her point was just that our minds and our civilization. Oh my gosh. It's natural. But gun violence and all this other stuff is not. That was her point. She was like,
Right.
look
Well,
how
I mean,
your mind works.
I think a porno might have been not a great example because there's a lot of
She may not
unnatural
have used
activity.
porn. Don't fact check me, but it was something like that.
Okay. But it did include...
That could be like hair bumps or boob bumps. Nudity. Anyway, that's funny.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the way America is. I mean the MPAA will give an X rating or an NC-17 rating to something with a lot of sexual content, but I mean look how violent movies are.
I know.
And I'm on the side of censor yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of censorship. I was exposed to stuff as a kid that I probably shouldn't have seen as a kid. A lot of violence in horror movies and stuff like that. But I love that stuff now. So I'm one of the lucky ones. I would not want a child to see, any child, like any family member. I've watched horror movies with kids, of course. But
you have a different perspective on them now.
yeah, I do. I'm very protective of the kids in our family. There are things that I think that they should watch and shouldn't watch. And I mean, call me a hypocrite. There are things when I was a teenager, I was like, oh, that's fine.
And now you're like, no, that's not right.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, maybe I was wrong.
Yeah.
I'm
but when
more
you're
mature in the way I think now.
16,
Yeah.
you're not going to, especially if someone older is telling you that's not right, especially music or anything else. I think that's a wrap. Plus, there's a crying baby in the background.
Okay. So we talked about pretty much nothing this episode.
Yes, we did. I wrote down Cobra Kai.
Crowbook Kai, yes.
The sequel after 34 years of The Karate Kid. I wrote down Ready Player One and campfirepod.com/merch.
That's a good way to close out. Yes. Help support the show. Check out campfirepod.com. Click on the Amazon link. It'll give us a small commission on pretty much anything you buy. Or if you want to buy more specifically to support the show, go to campfirepod.com/merch and pick up a shirt. That's campfyrepod.com. And if you want to hit us up on social media, it's at Num2Pod. NUMTWOPOD. Find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or email us one of your funny dysfunctional family stories, num2pod@gmail.com. You leaned into the microphone like you were going to say something.
I thought about saying something, but then I was like, I don't know what to say.
Just say it. We still got the song. Or just don't say anything. I thought you might come up with some lyrics.
No, I'm like super hungry right now.
Yeah, I'm a little hungry too. That's what we get for recording 2 shows in a row.
I know. My family probably hates me.
They just hate your computer. It's time to say goodbye to the number 2 podcast. We'll see you another time. Don't snap into the mic, 'cause I don't like it. It doesn't sound real good and your rhythm is terrible. Number 2, 'cause has no rhythm. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Thank you for listening to the number 2 podcast. We're gonna say goodbye now, but we'll be back at another time. So just sit right back and enjoy our dysfunctional lives and something. Oh, come on, cuz. I'm running out of stuff. Oedipus. Oedipus Complex is something real complex, and I tried to explain it, but I failed. And Oedipus Rex married his wife and he's married his mom.
That's weird.
Wow.
I'm gonna go see my Oedipus.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.